Crew, what's good? It's Rubber Captain coming back at you with another video. And today, as you know, we got another special one for you boys. As I always like to say, hey, they hit our boy Gecko on the ban list, man. So we had to come out with an emergency list for y'all boys, cause I know my PB Luffy fans, my oil spill Luffy fans out there crying right now, man. I shedded a couple tears, but we already was cooking for this, just in case they did hit Gecko on the ban list. And I think it was my last stream, maybe. I don't know. My streams get locked after I stream them to members only. But if you seen that stream, then you seen we was cooking. So we already had an idea of what we wanted to play when we lose, if we lost Gecko, and we did lose Gecko. So hey, I'm here to show you that PB Luffy is still a contender, man, in this OP10 meta. So um, with that said, before we get into the deck list, I wanted to mention about this block rotation things they got going on. Let me know in the comments below if you're for it, if you're against it. Me personally, I feel it's kind of annoying, if somebody puts a lot of time into a leader and then you just like, oh, you can't play with that leader for a year or maybe 2 years, 3 years, forcing somebody to pick up, a new leader or a new, staples is kind of, kind of toxic. Ain't gonna lie, in my opinion, personally, I feel like every card I buy is an investment. For me personally, like I don't want to just be forced to buy new cards. Like if I want to play with RP Luffy for the existence of One Piece, I should be able to play with RP Luffy at any event, in my personal opinion. But this video is not about that. I just kind of wanted to touch on it a little bit. I'm not gonna be like these other YouTubers and make whole videos dedicated to this shit. I mean, y'all can talk to me in the comments down below, man. Let me know what y'all think about it. But me personally, I don't like it unless we can keep our leaders. If they make it to where the leaders are not hit, then hey, I'm cool with it. It still sucks at the end of the day, but as long as I can play my RP Luffy or my Peanut Butter Luffy or whatever, I'm straight. I mean, that's what I like to play. I do play other leaders, but at the end of the day, you know, I like to be able to play what I want to play. Just, it is what it is. But without further ado, man, let's get into the deck list. All right, so here we go. We got the new no Gecko, no problem list for y'all boys. We got our leader, of course. We're running 4 of the Zorojoros. This is just to help out with bricks, because we are still running our, good amount of bigs. So we got our 4 Zorojoros. This is a ramp piece right here. We're still running the 2 Gear 5s. There is another list that I was, checking out with the Gear 5 spam. That'll probably be another video. This is just like the most competitive list that I've came up with so far that actually beats meta decks. So we got 4 of the Black Marias. That's standard in all my Peanut Butter Luffy lists. If you want to know more about any of these cards besides the new ones that I'm gonna go over that I added to the list, you can check any of my previous videos. I go over all these cards, what they do. 4 of the Rush Sanji is a mandatory card for the PB Luffy list. We got 4 of the Frankies, another mandatory card in my opinion. These 12 right here is definitely mandatory in the list. Then we're actually running 4 of the 6 cost Brooks. This helps us with KOing board, mid to late game. It's also just a threat that they have to worry about, so it's kind of like a pseudo blocker within itself, but it's a 7k pseudo blocker, so it's not easy. It's not easy to remove for them, So basically, a 6 cost pseudo blocker that return 1 or more Don to your Don deck and choose 2 of your opponent's characters, give them minus 2,000 powers. And if you play this the turn previous, just say like your 7 Don turn, you play this, your next turn you get to drop a Kaido, and you can KO something, a 6 or less, and then swing and Kaido into one of their other cards that's minus 2k. Just helps you remove their board effectively. Then we got 3 of the Ronozoros. I'm at 3 right now. I might work a way to get it back up to 4, but I think 3 is good because I want my bricks to be bigger bodies that do more than just ramp. So that's why we're at 3 with this one. We're running 3 of the 9-cost Luffys. This is to help cycle our deck. That's literally the only reason I'm running him. He's a 9-cost 10k rusher, but also just to help cycle our deck to get to some of our other cards that we need to see. Because he draws a card if you don't know on play. So that's why we got him in here. Then we got 3 of the Kados. I do think I might go down to 2 of the 9-drop Luffys and up to 4 Kados, just because I think Kaido is a better card at the end of the day. And I'd rather see Kaido over Luffy, but hey, it is what it is. Seeing either one is good. So, Kaido he pops a 6 cost or less, gets rush, great card. 4 Usohachi, standard card right now until they introduce these block rotations, and then we figure out that, I'm not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about it. We're gonna say what we had to say. But yeah, till they introduced our block rotations or whatever the hell they're gonna do. These are standard cards. 4 Onamis, this is help cycle. So the Onamis, the Frankies, the Gum Giants are all our cyclers, and also the Luffy. They all draw us cards. They all get us what we need in our hand. We got 3 of the new Black Luffy. I do want to get this to 4 as well, just because it's great in the Blackbeard matchup. It's hard to remove. It's a sticky body, man, and it also recycles your trash, so you can get your Kados back, your Gum Giants back in your deck, whatever, you can get it back in your deck. Like, you might not see it again, but hey, at least it's back in your deck, so it's a possibility of you seeing it again if you just go for a long ass game for some reason. But it also makes your opponent discard a card if they have 5 more in hand, which is relevant as well, because on his attack, if they got 5 cards in hand, when he attacks for 7k base power, that's 3 cards that they have to give up to get out of that attack for a regular leader. So that's automatically going to put them down to 2 cards, so your other swings are going to go through more than likely. Just a great card. Definitely think I need to get it up to 4 though. We got 4 of the Sanji standard and 4 of the Gum Giants. That is standard. So you're gonna see in these games that I did test the 2-cost event, the Gum Lightning. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up for you. I think I was running less Kaidos and less Luffys to have it in there. It just wasn't coming up as much because I was trying to combo this with the Brook to hit a 8k body, and it just seemed too gimmicky. I think just using Brook regular, playing out a Kaido or a Luffy, rush Luffy, using Brook regular and just attacking into the body is better. So I'd rather my brick be a body than I can KO a 6k power character, because a lot of times they're gonna try to remove your Brook, and I've had people strap up and just swing into the Brook to get it off the board, which made the Gum Lightning a whole lot worse. A lot of decks are going very tall. So we gotta be prepared for that, and I feel like just having big bodies and also being able to minus the attack power helps us in that situation. So that's the reason you may see this, and all I did was replace it with Kaidos and more Luffys. So there you go. But let's get into the games, man. But before we do, hey Brook, drop that beat. Alright, crew. So we got our first matchup here against Blue Black Usopp. The god Usopp. I don't think Usopp matchup's too bad. It's definitely not going to be bad now that they don't have Gecko. Because I know some lists was running Gecko just to get that extra resource game. But I think the matchup's not too bad for this list, especially since we're able to, go wide playing these 3-cost bodies. But the new strategy is we do want to hold on to our blockers in hand, because we can't bring them back from the grave no more. We can shuffle them back in the deck with the 6-drop Luffy, but you have to adjust the way you play. This deck will punish you more for playing the wrong thing out now, unfortunately, because we can't just Gecko Moria everything back from the trash. So you have to play perfect. I ain't gonna say perfect, but you got to play well in order to capitalize. So we're going second here, and I do like going second with this list, but it also can go first, no problem. But going second is good too. Just because when you get in this situation and you have both Zoros, you can play them both out on turn 2, which is great. You know, swing 5, play out both Zoros. You get to ramp with the first Zoro. Now you got 2 bodies established, so they can only remove one more than likely on their turn 3, especially with no ice ages and all that shenanigans now. So he did remove our Zoro Joro, so we're not gonna get that ramp, but that's fine. We're not worried about that. So now, I'm probably this next turn. I'm already thinking I need to look for more bigs. Like I do got the Sanji in hand, and you know it is nice to play the Sanji out right now. But at the same time, it's like I can use Frankie right now to cycle and get into potentially more bigs. Like I need my Kados, you know, or my removal, or even my my Brook even. You know what I'm saying? Just anything that's gonna help me, you know, put bodies on board. That's gonna and get rid of their bodies on top of that. So that's what we're gonna go with here. We're just gonna swing 6. We'll go ahead and play out our Frankie. Counter out of that. Discard the Nami. We actually get the Gum Gum Lightning here, but this is another situation why I don't like it. Because if I use the Gum Gum Lightning there, then I Negadine. So I'd actually much rather that be a Kaido right there. That way my next turn I can just drop a Kaido, KO one of his bodies, and swing, you know, big. But we did get a 5-drop Sanji that can come in handy to KO something. So we can use Sanji and Gum Gum Lightning. That is a good combo for a 7-don turn. Well, it would actually have to be an 8-don turn because you have to have one on lead unless you have a big body on board already. So he swings 6 into our Rona Zoro here. We're gonna save our bodies because, you know, we need to go wide. Start game plan. And here I'm thinking, can use the Sanji, but again, I'd rather have some more bigs at this moment. He doesn't have a blocker up, so I'd rather save Sanji till he gets a blocker, because that's where he comes in clutch at anyway. So we're gonna swing 6 again, see what he wants to do. And we're probably gonna put 2 on lead, swing 7, and then do our Sanji play. So he took that life, so I guess I decided to do 1. So now we're thinking about doing Sanji because he did take that life. So we're gonna see here. He took that life as well. So now I'm definitely probably thinking about Sanji, and then it's like, he's at 0 life. Why not just, you know, go ahead and do this, and then we'll just KO his one-legged soldier as well with the Gum Gum Lightning. I mean, it sucks to use the Gum Gum Lightning on a one-legged soldier, but hey, just remove his high cost removal from board. So if he wants to use it, he's got to play it from hand. And force him this turn to establish a blocker, which we know we got the Sanji in hand, so we can easily just rest it down anyway. But if he swings it to my body here, I definitely should use the Gum Gum Giant just to cycle to get possibly a Kaido. He's definitely better against the blockers. So he plays a Rebecca here into Frankie, into a Zoro, so he's probably gonna KO or a Rona Zoro, which is cool. But we still got our Sanji on board, so that's nice. See what he does here. Swings 9, we should just take. Really don't need to use our Gum Gum Giant here. We need all this extra Don to attack with. For some reason he's trying to attack with the Frankie. I don't know why he would try to attack with the Frankie anyway, even if he could. That's literally your only blocker. But hey, you know, to each their own. We're gonna go ahead and use our Sanji here, rest down the Frankie. We're gonna go 7 in first, test the waters. He's only got 6 cards in hand, and yeah, that's enough to, you know, kill him. He probably could have got out of that one. Nope, he couldn't even get out of that first attack. So it's like, without his Frankie, he was cooked. But it was gonna be 7, 7, 8, and there was no way he can get out of that with the amount of cards he had in hand, unless he had like some 0 cost event. Yeah, he would have had to have what, 2 0 cost events and 2 2Ks, which chances of that is slim to none. But let's get on to the next match, crew. Alright, crew. We got a green purple Dofi here. We see some ramp in hand, so you know we like it, and we got a Brook in hand. You love to see it, you love to see it. And we got some decent 2Ks in hand. Oh, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, Patrick, unfortunately, the Marco video has been put on hold longer, man. Because the list I was playing with, the list I created, actually used Jinbe, man. It actually used Jinbe. So, unfortunately, I had to scratch that video for now, and we're gonna cook up another list. Man, I probably played like 8 lists, bro, to make that list, and I settled on Warlords of the Sea because, you know, being Marco struggles early game, so being able to go wide early game just made your late game better, you know, because then you have to worry about your early game bodies, and then you're just playing out your Rayleighs and all that, and they can't keep up. But unfortunately, Jinbe got hit on the ban list, so that's no longer a viable list, unfortunately. So I'll get that video out to you as soon as I can, though, bro. I didn't forget. But back to the video. Sorry, I had to rant for a second there. Talk to my boy, man. He's a loyal supporter. So this guy's playing the Birdcage, which we don't care about because we're playing a lot of 6 cost bodies. So Birdcage doesn't really affect us like that. I mean, yeah, it affects our little Ronozoros and all that, but we don't care about that. We're just gonna use Frankie here, pitch a 2K to cycle. Yep, we get us a Brooks, what we like to see. I'm gonna swing a 7K here, see what he wants to do. And I'll probably be swing 9K. He uses a vent for that, which is cool, but slow nor beam sword only lets him rest the character. So he can only rest our blocker down, which we don't care about anyway. We were just playing him to cycle. We got enough counter in hand, so we're not really worried about it. But now we're probably going to swing 9 at him here. Guarantee us his life, more than likely. And we get it, yep. And then we're just going to pass it up. Then next turn, it's probably going to be a Brook turn. Or possibly another Luffy turn, or a Luffy turn. This depends on what our opponent plays out here. I think we'll be on 9 Dawn next turn. Maybe we'll be on 8 Dawn. I don't know. I wasn't keeping up, bro. I was rambling on about this Marco list. Oh, we're on 10 Dawn. Never mind. I lied. So here we gotta play the Luffy out first, just because our Brook minuses to do the effect. So unfortunately, we'll have to play the Luffy out first. I was thinking about it and I was like, nah. We'll just play the Luffy out first, return 1, draw 1. I will swing the Brook, return 1. And oh, I misplayed there. I should have returned 2 with the Brook, just to trigger the leader effect, but I didn't, so you know, it happens. But we did minus his blocker down, so that was me looking at the Don like shit. I forgot to do 2 for the leader effect, but it is what it is. We're just gonna swing 5 here. He wants to block, he has to give me a block and a 2K. He doesn't. Now we're going 10 in. And he gives me the life, which is cool. We leave one up for Gum Gum Giant here so we can cycle again, try to get into some more bigs. And as you can tell, we got a shit ton of counter in hands and a shit ton of bodies on board, to be honest. Like, yeah, Rona Zoro and our Frankie can't restand, but do we really need to restand them? Like, not really. I mean, Brook and Luffy alone is, you know, enough to put pressure on our opponent. If they try to go into our characters here, that's when we'll use our Gum Gum Giant and our 2Ks. Other than that, we're probably just going to take the life if they swing in a life. So he plays out the 8-cost Dofi there, which is cool, I guess. Plays out another blocker. That's nice. Puts one on his I forget the name of this guy. Dynamite or something like that. Diamante. Yeah, Diamante. We just give him 2 1Ks there. Or a 2K and a 2K and 2 1Ks, okay. Gum Gum Giant here, we're gonna cycle, see if we can get some more bigs. We got Usopp Hachi here, so my thinking is he's got 2 open done. I got some big attacks on board. I can minus his blockers, but it's not really needed. So we just play out 2 Usopp Hachis. Rest down both his blockers here. Now we can swing 7 with the Brook. Do his effect -2. That'll proc our leader ability. We'll just minus some random, you know, targets here. That'll proc leader ability. Bam, bam. He takes the life. So I don't know if he was holding 2 up to like bluff an event. Maybe he was. If he had the Nora Beam Sword there, he could have punished us, but we'll see. And our opponent just quits there. He had no events in hand, so he was cooked. That's GG's to our opponent, man. Let's get on to the next match, crew. Alright, crew, we got a Shanks here. We might finally get to see the Black Luffy in action, man. Let's see. This is still the list with the Gum Gum Lightning. The next 2 games I got, or the last 2 games I got, will be with the current list. And I actually got a special matchup for y'all boys too. I'm tired of hearing people say, oh, that deck's not good against this leader. Okay, well, I beat it all the time, so I don't know. Maybe you can guess what leader I'm talking about, but you'll see it in the end of the video. You know, people say a lot of things, but they don't have any basis to what they're saying. They don't have any facts to go with what they're saying. They don't have any proof. And me, I like proof. If something's bad against something, then show me. Show me why it's bad. Matter of fact, come play me and show me why it's bad. I'll play the same deck, and you can play whatever decks you're saying it has a bad matchup against. And if it has a bad matchup, I'll tell you. But, you know, the leader that I'm specifically talking about, this deck doesn't have a bad matchup into it. Yes, you don't get your own play effects. Oh well, I guess I gave it away. But that being said, if you know how to play against the leader, you can win majority of your games against this leader with this deck. It's just a fact. I've done it. I mean, I rarely lose to that leader with any deck. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, I rarely lose to that leader with any deck. And the times I lose, they literally high roll like 4 Lafitte, 3 Lafitte searches. I like turn 4, you know, like, and even then they still barely win. Like, you can beat a deck as long as you know how to play against it with your deck, you know. But the moral of the story is, people can say whatever they want to say. Prove it to me. I'm gonna prove to you that my shit does what it does. You know, you might play my deck and not do what I'm doing. That ain't got nothing to do with me or my deck. You know what I'm saying? That's a personal problem. You know. You got to figure out why what you're doing is not working the way what I'm doing is working. But anyway, back to the video here. We're swinging big sevens at our opponent, man. We done established the Brook. We done established the Black Luffy. Man, it's looking ugly for this Shanks already. I'm not gonna lie. Now you can only thing he can bend Batman. I gotta read what the Black Luffy does. I can't remember if he says KO by effects or just removed by effects. I don't know. I will try to look at that at the end of the video for y'all. I can't remember. I think he does bend Batman, possibly, maybe. I don't know. I think he uses like a one cost or something like that. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I don't know. Yeah, who knows? Either way, he's strapped up to get rid of this Brook, boy. He does not want this Brook on the field, and I get it, you know. Something you gotta worry about. But we're on 10 dying. We got a Kaido in hand. He's still sitting on this Lucky Root blocker, man. Let's get this guy the fuck up out of here. We ain't got time for that. Get him up out of here, coach. So now, our opponent has 5 cards in hand. Do we have what's it called in the grave? I don't know how many cards we got in grave. Oh yeah, we only got 2 cards in grave. So our Luffy effect is irrelevant, but our opponent doesn't know that, so he might counter out aggressively with us swinging with leader first. And he did counter out aggressively. So now he's got to worry about a 7K and a 10K swing. So, alright, cool. And I'm not opposed to using Gum Gum Giant in this position, because we will be back up to 7 if we do use the Gum Gum Giant, which will allow us to play our Sanji. So that's another technical play with the Kaido. If you do use the Kaido on 10 and you use Gum Gum Giant, you will still have 7 dying to play your Sanji or another Brook. So it's never a bad thing to do that. Here I'm thinking about using the Gum Gum Giant, which I think I should, just to cycle. Even if I can't save it, I should use it just to cycle. And I do, and plus it also activates the effect of the Black Luffy. And I actually give him 3 1Ks there, because why not? Swings 5 in the lead, I take it. Alright, so now our 6-drop Luffy effect can be activated to return 3 cards and make them pitch a card from hand. So now, if he wants to get out of this, since he does have the big Shanks on board, it's still a minimum of 2 cards, even if he uses leader effect. So he discards a Goldie Roger, which is great to see, because we don't want him dropping that on us. He actually takes the hit right there, which I don't know if that was a mistake or if he just bricked up in hand. But now I'm assuming he's bricked up in hand. He did use a event. He got there it is, Fire Fist to minus 5K on our Kaido there, which is unfortunate. But we do got the Frankies, which I like to see. You definitely should play the Frankie out first and cycle. Yeah. Play the Frankie out to cycle. Yep, get our dime back. So now we're going 8 with lead. If we can get some cards out of hand here. Gonna give us some cards out of hand. Use leader effect, drop a 7. He gets a 0 cost event. Cool. Now we're gonna swing 5 into 5 because Kaido still got 5K attack, and he had to give us another card. So now our opponent's down to 3 cards in hand. They got 1 life, we got a blocker, and we got 2 relevant attacks on board that he has to worry about. But we also got a rush Sanji in hand, so if he does just play a blocker this turn or something, if he plays defensive this turn, we still can punish him the next turn. But he has to worry about this Kaido at the end of the day. That's the main threat. If he swings 12 into the Kaido, I definitely think I should just counter out or block. Should just block probably, yeah. Oh, I'm countering out because why not? I guess my idea is if he has another Shanks, I should just counter out here. If he plays another Shanks, swings in, I could block it, but he plays the 10 cost KO Shanks, which is cool. And I'm like, okay, I'll just take this hit, save my blocker to be another relevant swinger. So we put one on our Luffy here. We're swinging 7 at him. We're just gonna recycle some of our blockers. You know, our Kaido. So if he uses lead effect, gotta give us 2k. He takes the life there. Now I'm thinking probably go 3 on lead, or just go all on lead and go in. Yeah, he's only got 3 cards in hand, so I don't know what I'm thinking of. But yeah, he's only got 3 cards in hand. No way he's getting out of it, and he's cooked. That's the Shanks matchup. Alright, I got 2 more games for y'all. Let's get into the other 2 games. These games are all back to back too, by the way. Let's get into the other games for y'all. Alright, crew. This is the current list without the 2 cost Gum Gum Lightnings, which didn't even come into play in any of the games. Like I said, I'd rather have a big cost. I'd rather have a big body. This is the current list. This is the best version. Definitely give this list a try. We'll have it linked in the description down below. But we're going to get another Shanks to show you this ain't no fluke. And this guy's actually playing the stage. And he actually knows how to play. So we use our Ronozora here. We're going second. We ramp and we're going to swing 8. So we don't have another 3 drop in hand. I don't know why he minus 1,000 on a Zoro. I guess. See what he does here. He plays out of Usopp. Swing 6. I should just counter out there. Alright. So here, the chances I lose my Zoro next turn to a Ben Beckman or anything like that is kind of high. So I just swing 6 with my Zoro anyway. There's no point in leaving him face up. And then we pass after we play a Brook there. But he actually can use Red Force, the stage, to drop my Brook down too as well. It's my first time playing against the stage Shanks. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of annoying. He turns the stage sideways, minuses 1,000 on my Zoro here. So now I'm thinking he's got Ben Beckman for sure. I don't know why he wouldn't have minus the Brook. Maybe he had other plans or other ideas. Well, he just plays another Usopp down. And he swings it to my Zoro. I already had in my mind that I was losing the Rona Zoro anyway this turn. So I literally just let it go. No need to do anything else. He swings 8 at us there. We just take that life. This turn's probably gonna be a Sanji turn, or possibly play out another Brook. I like the Sanji better, resting down the Usopp, and then, to be honest, we could go into both bodies on board this turn. But we're using our Frankie to cycle, which also makes sense to get into a bigger body as well. So here, we're gonna swing 7 in, -1. Neg both our opponent's characters. He uses his leader effect there, which is perfect. That's what we wanted him to do. Now we'll go 1 on lead, swing 6 into 4 here. He has to give it to us. Then we'll play out the Sanji, KO the other Usopp. And we just remove both bodies from board and establish 2 bodies. So now we have 3 bodies on board. He has 0. What we like to see. So now we put him in a dilemma here. It's like, you gotta remove the Brook or the Sanji. You can't remove both. Or the blocker, even, you know. If you're worried about the blocker, hell. He swings 6 into 6 here. I know he's just trying to get cards out of hand, but I'm gonna give them to him anyway. If you want to counter it, I mean, if you want to kill it, kill it. If not, then you know it is what it is. He missed sequence there, and I think he acknowledges it at the end of the game when he said he misplayed. But, you know, it is what it is. It happens. We all misplay from time to time. But my Sanji is only a 4K attacker now, so he's not really relevant for attacking this turn. We definitely should go ahead and play the 9-drop Luffy out, in my opinion. Definitely should play the 9-drop out, yes sir. Return to Dawn, proc our lead effect. We'll go 1 on the Sanji just to get him to use his leader effect. And we'll go 5 into 5. Now we need a card from in. He takes the life. So more than likely this 10's gonna go through as well. And that's 2 life off our opponent there. Perfect. We still got our blocker. We still got 2 big bodies. And we got a shit ton of counter in hand with a Gum Giant. And we also got a Gear 5. So our opponent is in a bit of a situation, if I do say so myself, because no matter what he plays, he probably loses next turn. Maybe he could play a blocker and survive, but majority of the time they're 10 down turn. They're going for big bodies. But yeah, he doesn't know he's gonna lose next turn, so he's probably not gonna play a blocker out. Probably gonna play another Silver's Rayleigh or something, trying to KO something else. I don't know. We'll see here in a minute. He's thinking right now, trying to decide what he wants to do. Let's skip a little bit ahead. Okay, so he played out the 1 cost to minus 3K on our 9-drop Luffy. So I'm like, okay, he's gonna remove my big Luffy, which makes sense. That's not a bad play at all. See what he does here. I think he's gonna rest the stage probably to minus as well. Plays a Ben Beckman there. I think he forgot to, oh yeah, this is where he said he misplayed. He forgot to rest the stage to minus my Luffy and then play as Ben Beckman. Cause he could have got rid of the Luffy there. But we'll see if it matters in a second here. We're gonna go ahead and do that. We got a shit ton of counter in hand. He swings 7, that's an easy 2K out. Alright. Now we're gonna swing 5 into his leader here. He said he misplayed. Yeah, I understand. We're gonna see if it would matter in a minute here once we can see his hand. But it might not even matter if he KO'd our Luffy. We'll see in a second. He didn't use leader effect there. He gave us a 1K. Typing. Swing 10 at lead. I told him I thought he was on a Beckman Luffy. Alright, he takes that hit. Then you know what time it is. He's only got 1 life. We swing 6 at life here. See what it gives us. It gave us a 2K there. We pass. Let's see. Gave us two 2Ks there. I think that's all they had was two 2Ks. Okay. So our opponent had three 2Ks and a 1K. So first attack would have been with Frankie. Let's just say he hit my Luffy. First attack would have been with Frankie. He uses leader effect there, right? Next attack, my Sanji, because I would have saved it with Gum Gum Giant. The same way I saved the Luffy the turn prior. So it would have been a 6K attack with Sanji. He would have to give us a 2K there. So that's one of his 2Ks. He's still got another, still got 2 more 2Ks and a 1K. Then I play out the Gear 5, swing another 6. Play out the Gear 5, swing another 6. He has to give us another 2K there. So he's got one 2K, one 1K left. The next turn, swing 10, he can't get out of it. Swing 12, he can't get out of it. Yeah, he was dead either way. I don't know what came from his life when, but it makes it even, you know, worse if those 2Ks was coming out of life. Because he would have had to take the life first, you know what I'm saying? So he wouldn't be able to even counter out of the initial attacks, which was my thinking. I'm thinking he had this in hand, probably with like a 2K and a 1K, and then the other two 2Ks was in life. So it is what it is. Let's get on to the next game, crew. Alright. Here you go, crew. Here's the Teach matchup. I'm tired of everybody saying that that this deck loses the Teach, because it doesn't. You just lose the Teach. That's what that is. Personal problem. Let's stop making personal problems everybody's problem, because you know, I cook Teach all the time with the majority of the decks I play. I mean, you know. So either ways, we play out around Zoro. We got our ramp. We're gonna swing 7 here at the Lafitte, probably, more than likely. The Lafitte, yeah, get it off board. Because for some reason when I play against teachers, they like to get 2 or 3 Lafittes on board, and we ain't got time for all that searching. I'm gonna show you what my goal is here. He's leaving 4 on up, so now I'm thinking he's either gonna play a Burgess or the 4-drop event. He plays a Burgess out, which is good news for us. That means we get to get 2 attacks in this turn. He didn't use the leader effect. So now we got 6 done. We can play out Frankie and Zoro this turn. Some may argue that that was a misplay, him not using leader effect, but you know, he might have had a hand he didn't want to get rid of them cards, you know, you never know. But either way, we discard the Sanji, play out a Zoro, we establish 2 bodies that turn, which is perfect. And if we wouldn't establish 2 bodies that turn, we would have just played out a Black Luffy. So either way, we would have had something on board for him to deal with. So it's our opponent's 6 Don turn. We're gonna see what they do. We got 3 bodies on board, which is very scary for our Blackbeard here. We're gonna give him 2 1Ks, making sure we save them black 6 costs, because making him discard a card is gonna hurt him. Plays a Van Augur, which is cool. Alright. So we got 8 down here. Gonna put 1 on Zoro, swing 5. We are Black Hole, but we don't care about that. Gets a card from hand, which is understandable. We're gonna swing another 5 with the Frankie here. Then we're gonna put 6 on. Swing 6. Gets us another 2K there. Perfect. Then we're gonna put another one on. Swing 6 with lead. Wanna give us another card or life, buddy? He gives us a life. Then we play out our Black Luffy. Now our opponent is in trouble. It's like, if you don't remove this Luffy, then I'm gonna make you discard a card every time I attack with him. And he's a 7K base, so he's very sticky to the board. And if you don't use like what is it, black hole? If you don't use black hole, you can't get rid of him. But our opponent is using Van Augur here. He's KOing the Ronozoro with the dot Q Van Augur, which is cool. Swinging 6 at 4 here. I'm thinking I'd maybe counter out. Like, kind of want my trash full so I can keep doing this Black Luffy's effect. See what he does here. He swings his Burgess. I wasn't expecting him to swing his Burgess because that is kind of risky, considering he's only 6K. But it is what it is. Our opponent only has 3 cards in hand now, so I'm thinking of what to do here. We are black hold. He doesn't have 5 cards in hand, so we're just gonna attack with 7 first. Just return some cards to get them back in our deck. Gives me a 2K, 1K there. So go 3 on Zoro, swing another 7. You can't get out of that. We did that backwards. We should have done 6, 7, but it is what it is. We play out another Black Luffy here. Now, if he plays the Teach, he can lock down that Luffy, which is a possibility. But he will only have 1 ballot attack into it. He will only have 1 ballot attack into the other one, which means I could potentially just 1K counter and save it, and then he would be cooked the next turn. But he decided he needed to remove that Black Luffy, and that's understandable. He uses the black hole or liberation, whatever you want to call it. Removes it from field, and he's probably going to try to swing into the other one on board, which is cool. Puts 1 on Kuzan, swing 6 into 4. You can have that as well. I have no counter in hand. He doesn't know that, but hey, we know that. Puts 2 on the Van Augur, swings 9 over. You can have that as well. He plays the Vasco shot here, and if I remember his last card correctly, it's a Teach, and he could have black hold us there, right, and went down to 0, but he wouldn't have had his Teach, so he had no option but to not black hole us there because he was literally at 0 cards. He had to get the Vasco shot after he played the black hole, or he would have died either way. So that being said, that's it for all the games, bro. If y'all like content like this, make sure y'all like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all boys in the next one, man. Peace.